Hello, beautiful manifestors. It is Olivia Grace, and I'm back with another video for you guys. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how to make your affirmations work way better and quicker for you. I have 7 tips that I'm going to share with you all. And if you're new here, I am Olivia Grace. This is the Master Manifestors channel. Here I talk about law of assumption, manifestation, all that good stuff. So if you're interested, then you should subscribe and become a part of the channel. Please excuse the noise in the background. The apartment is being worked on, so that's what all the banging is. But anyhow, I do have coaching available. By the time this video drops, my 30-day to manifest anything will be closed, but Blissful Effortless Life, my 3-month program, will still be open until Thursday. So email me. My email is in the description. If you scroll down, it is in there a few times for you guys to find it, okay? All right. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm just going to go down these tips and explain to you why and how they work, okay? So the first one is, this is probably the best tip, to be honest. And that is to affirm that you're, like, when you're doing your affirmations, I feel like a lot of the way that we do our affirmations is like, this is not true, and I'm trying to affirm to make it be true, right? But if you guys can understand time, the illusion of time, understanding that all is now and that your desire truly is done now, right? Then instead of doing it from the consciousness that this thing is not true, it's not done, and hopefully me saying this thing over and over will make it be done, you can say and know that, well, this desire is done. There is a reality where this is already done for me. And me saying these affirmations is me continuously choosing and deciding to dwell in that reality. So what this does is takes your desire or your manifestation out of the future, out of a possibility, hope this works, all of this stuff, and back into the law of assumption, right? What the law of assumption is assuming that something is true with no proof. So with your affirmations, you should be assuming that this is already true. The way that I like to do it, or the way that I like to view it when I'm affirming or listening to affirmations, is that I'm just practicing the state. I'm rehearsing being in the state. For instance, if you got cast for a role, if you got cast for Juliet and Romeo and Juliet, you may still be getting to know your lines, right? You may still slip into your old accent of whoever you really are when you're supposed to be playing Juliet. But the more that you practice and rehearse your lines, rehearse your accent, rehearse the new state of being, the more natural it becomes to you until you can seamlessly play that out. And so that's what you're doing with your affirmations. That's the way that I view it, is that I'm rehearsing it. It also, for me, is just a way for me to help myself stay focused on what my new decision is, right? Hear how I'm not saying that anything is trying to make me get something, right? It's me coming from the consciousness that I already have this is already mine. And this is helping me to stay on track mentally with that decision that I already made. So I'm intending that makes sense. All right. Number 2, address specific blocks and like whatever things that you have going on that you feel like are preventing you from getting your desire. Okay. So what I mean by that, let's take, there's a lot of different ways that this can help. People who say, oh, I'm just not a good manifester, right? That's actually a side note, pro tip, is to affirm that you're an amazing manifester. Just loop that into your whatever affirmations that you're doing. If you believe that you're an amazing manifester, then that's automatically going to strengthen your faith and strengthen your focus on what you're deciding to be true now. Right? But address specific things. If you, let's say you're manifesting money and you're like, well, I manifest money, but I always lose it. Then address that specifically in your affirmations. Okay. No, I'm consistently, creating money. I'm consistently receiving money. I'm receiving money on a daily basis. I'm receiving money, in increasing quantities. Like, specifically address whatever the specific issue is that you're having. If you're manifesting appearance change and you don't like what you see in the mirror is really triggering to you, start using that, right? Use your triggers to come up with your affirmation. You feel really triggered in the mirror? No, I look amazing in the mirror. I love looking at myself in the mirror. I'm obsessed with looking at myself in the mirror, right? So address specific things that you feel like are your blocks or your specific thoughts that are against what your new story is, okay? All right. Number 3, affirm your self-concept, okay? I talk about self-concept all the time. I will put a video up here about self-concept, but this is just going to make it so much easier for you guys. I'm not going to go into so much detail about it, but long story short, when you have an identity that is a match to whatever desire it is that you're creating, it allows it to manifest that much quicker. And that's just the truth. Okay. So this is the thing. A lot of people get discouraged or get intimidated by self-concept work. And they're like, oh my God, like, how long is this going to take me? It's going to take me years to get through this, or I can't get through this, or whatever. Realize, you guys, that you yourself are also your manifestation. Who you are, your mentality, your abilities or non-abilities are also manifestations, just the same way that the things in your reality are manifestations. So just like I said in the previous tip, you deciding I'm not a good manifester, it becomes true, you guys. It becomes true. You could be doing everything to the T, exactly the way that Neville taught it, exactly the way that your favorite YouTuber teaches it. But if you believe that I'm just ass at this, like it never works for me, then it has to confirm that truth to you. It has to confirm that belief to you, right? It's not the truth, but it's a truth in one reality, okay? So affirming your self-concept, I'm amazing at this, right? Or when it comes to money, I'm a magnet for money. I'm great at manifesting money. I'm very valuable. People see my value, right? When it comes to SP, I'm very desirable. I'm always wanted, right? I'm extremely lovable, whatever. Affirm your self-concept. Put it in, just loop it in with your other affirmations, okay? All right. Number 4, consistency. You guys, listen, like, this is the thing, okay? This is where I feel like a lot of people get thrown off in the community when people are saying things like manifestation is instant. Oh, it doesn't take any time, right? Oh, it should happen in 3 days or you're doing it wrong, right? Because that, like, okay, like I said, everything is true and isn't true. So at the same time, you are experiencing the truth or the reality or the state that you are conscious of being in. That's it, you guys. Okay. So if you have been doing this for a few days or even a few weeks and your brain is still fighting you, that's not indicating that you're doing something wrong necessarily. It's indicating that you need to persist some more. You need to continuously tell this new story. Okay. I'll tell you guys this story really, really quickly. I remember with Neville, somebody mentioned this. I think maybe it was in the class I was in, but Neville basically wanted to pay a specific amount for rent in one of his apartments that he lived in. He ended up not paying that the entire time. I think 2 years that he lived there, he never was paying that amount of rent, but he persisted. He persisted in that. And guess what? At the end of the 2 years, the landlord gave him a refund that sum totaled what he would have been paying, like sum totaled what he was basically paying extra from what he decided to pay in his imagination. Okay. At any point, Neville could have given up and said, this isn't going to work. This can't happen. Right. Oh, it's been 2 years. This is Neville. Neville is the GOAT. Okay. Neville is doing amazing, incredible things. If he was to say, oh, well, it's just not going to work. Oh, it's been 3 days, so it's not working. Right. He wouldn't have gotten that refund. Like, and I get that, you guys. I feel like, yes, it's very empowering to have all of these, super fast results and super fast things. But my thing is, and I'm not saying that that's not real or not true, because it absolutely is. Manifestation is instant, but give yourself a chance to get there. Give yourself a chance to become an amazing manifester, to be able to manifest that way. Okay. And it starts with getting results, and results come from consistency. Okay. So consistently, continuously affirm, you guys, continuously telling the new story. Okay. Now, next point, don't worry about believing it. Okay. Don't worry about believing what you're saying. You will start to believe, this is number 5, by the way, you will start to believe by consistency. Okay. So if you're waiting to believe something, right? To be consistent with it. Do you see how you're not going to make any progress like that? You're trying to believe in an idea that's not familiar to your brain, not familiar enough to your brain, right? And saying, oop, it's not familiar, so I'm not going to think that. Well, then you're going to stay in the same circumstance. You're going to stay in the same story. Okay? Don't worry about believing, worry about repeating. Worry about continuously every single day, like I said, the last point, being consistent, continuously telling the new story, the new story, the new story. It doesn't matter, you guys. Okay? Yeah, your brain may fight you. It may fight you. A lot of times your brain and your identity or whatever finds safety. Okay? It finds safety in the previous identity. So it's fine, but just continue. Don't worry about what you're believing. Don't worry about if this doesn't make sense. Don't worry about if it still seems impossible. Continue telling yourself the new story, and it will prove itself to be possible to you. Okay? All right. Number 6 is to over-exaggerate and inflate your affirmations. I really love this when it's something that I have a lot of resistance to, is to go over-exaggerate in the opposite direction of my new story. Okay? So instead of, oh, like I'm a bad manifester, or I can't manifest money, right? No, I'm the best manifester in the world. I'm the best at manifesting money. People scientifically study me, how I manifest money the way that I do. My bank account is always filled with millions of dollars. Like, start over exaggerating. For me, it helps me get into the feeling better. You can also add kind of like trigger words, like right now, like, oh, I'm financially abundant right now. Or, this is revealing itself to me in 3D right now. Someone had tagged me in, Manon tagged me in a TikTok where she was saying suddenly, right? Something like that, no matter what, right? All of these things, it adds more emphasis, even adding thank you to the beginning of your manifest or your affirmations. Being grateful, that's something that really, really supercharges, because you're really putting yourself into the end of having. Okay. All right. And last but not least is to do your affirmations overnight. All right. You have 6 to 8 hours of time where your subconscious mind is wide open. Okay. You don't have to play your affirmations loud. You can play them on the last notch before it's silent, but it's just a very prime opportune time to impress your mind with new ideas, especially if you have resistance when you're listening to your affirmations consciously. If you hear your affirmations and it causes a lot of resistance in you, you might want to try like subliminals or something like that. But also try listening overnight. When you're overnight, your conscious mind is sleeping, so it can't rebuttal your affirmations. Okay. When you're awake, your conscious mind is listening and it's analyzing. It's like, that doesn't make sense. No, we can't think that. That's not safe to think. All of these things. Okay. When you're sleeping, your conscious mind is sleeping. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of all those hours where your brain is, I won't say doing nothing, but you're doing nothing. And you could be using that time to reprogram your mind. Okay. So number 1, affirm in the now. This is true now. And me affirming is not trying to make something happen. It is reinforcing the belief that I've decided to believe now. Okay. 2, address specifics in your blockages, your triggers, whatever you feel like is a problem, address it specifically in your affirmations. 3, affirm for your self-concept. All right. Affirm for your identity. 4, be consistent. You should be affirming every single day, you guys. If that is your choice, if that's your thing that you're choosing to do, you should be doing it every single day. Okay. 5, don't worry about believing it. Just worry about repeating it, you guys. So many people are like, but this, but that, but this circumstance, but that. If you spent all the time that you spend saying but this and but that, affirming, you wouldn't have all those buts. Okay. 6, over-exaggerate and inflate your affirmations. Supercharge them. Add a thank you. Add no matter what. Add suddenly. Add whatever to inflate your affirmations. Okay? It just happened right now. Whatever you want to say. Okay? And 7 is to play them overnight. Play them on the last loop and allow them to penetrate into your subconscious mind. All right? I'm intending that this really helps you. I'm sure that it does. Okay? I know that it does. And if you guys are interested in coaching, I do have a few one-on-one spots left. My one-on-ones are 1 and 3 month packages only. Group coaching is still available. I will have some new group programs for February launching soon, so keep your eyes out for those. But other than that, I'm intending that this prospers you immensely. Like the video, comment, share it with someone that you think it will help, and I will see you guys in a video soon.